Very epic stuff coming out from the Mario 64 polygons. Gained a couple of them here. SMO, a little bit higher resolution of a video game. Gotta love that.
Yeah, it does feel nice to have some decent graphics.
It's kind of crazy, at least for me. Like, I speedrun both games. I'm pretty casual at SMO, but whenever I turn on SMO, I get kind of confused at first because there's just too much going on. There's too many colors.
It does feel really weird. That's someone who runs both games as well. Going from like a 30 FPS game to a 60 FPS game is like the weirdest feeling ever.
On that note, I also run OOT, and going from OOT to Mario even feels like Mario 64. Because
OT is even slower, right?
OT, yeah, it runs at 20 FPS, which is like, it doesn't feel that bad when you're playing it, but you go to another game and you're like, wow, this is really what you can see, huh? I can see much more than just 20 frames. But yeah, 60 frames per second. We're rolling into Cap Kingdom, and we'll see how long this matchup stays pretty close like this, because you know, SMO races, they tend to, you know, if you have a bit of a player gap in terms of skill and ability, unless there's some big mistake somewhere, there's like, a lot of this game is, you know, it comes down to little movements, little mechanic changes. You don't really see like you do in Mario 64 16 star, where there's like, oh, that guy just died and lost a minute, you know? It can happen in Lost, it can happen in some areas, but
there's definitely a contrast, because like for 16 star, I feel like it's, you know, just about like, you know, just landing the tricks, just not dying, just, you know, doing all that. Whereas SMO, you really have to be more cautious about your movement, because any little slip up can lose you some time. Even when it might not, you know, seem like it, like, you know, you could see RD Speed has like a slight lead, and there was like not even like a noticeable mistake.
yeah, both of them going for that left side and nailing it. And, you know, surprising to see Speed in the lead here, but just showing off that he's got the moves. He's got what it takes to take out Stravos here, who's a bit of a juggernaut in this scene, right? He's been around doing Mario's Odyssey tournaments since pretty much the beginning of Mario Odyssey itself. So this dude is
an OG for sure.
Definitely one to beat here, but Speed looking like he could possibly do it here. Has a slight lead, heading into the wire. Jason in the chat, crushing all my hopes and dreams. It's okay. Not everybody can pick the #1 speed game on the planet. XD. Mario Odyssey, though, having probably like, I don't know, I would say top 5 speedrunning communities out there in terms of activity, at least. There's so many races and just tournaments going on all the time in Mario Odyssey. It's pretty sick to see. We're talking like, you know, raw speedrunning tournaments. Obviously, you know, randomizer tournaments, they are speedrunning tournaments, but, you know, there's so much variation going on. It's not like, you know, you pop in and you know what to expect every time. There's a lot, I don't know, it's interesting, right? Because speedrunning is a lot more execution-based than randomizers are.
Yeah, I feel like SMO is probably like one of the biggest games in terms of, you know, just racing, like you said. Like, there's a lot of games, like, I know, I think like the original Legend of Zelda is like very popular for like randomizers. I feel like all the Zelda games are pretty popular for randomizers, whereas the Mario games are just, you know, just usually just complete the game.
Yeah, Zelda randomizers are sick. Honestly, Mario randomizers are dope. One day we'll have an SMO randomizer. I think there technically are people that run quote unquote SMO randomizer, but I don't know. I've not seen footage of it.
There have been like SMO randomizers before that aren't, you know, actually like a mod. It's basically just a list of moves and yeah, but I don't believe that there's actually like a mod that randomizes the move.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can qualify that one. I'd like to see like an SM64 randomizer ish.
Obviously, there's Taka 2%, which is, you know, kind of like the in-game randomizer.
Yeah, Taka 2% sick. And honestly, this race is sick. I mean, look at this frame sync. Like, tell me how many frames are off by. I can't think of it. I can't.
Yeah, this is literally dead sync. Yeah, beautiful race so far.
Pixel Slayer in the chat coming in saying they've never seen anything like this. This is a speedrun race. A lot. I don't know. I feel like we have to go over this a lot less nowadays. I remember back like when GSA
Yeah,
first started out, it was like this is the new crazy thing everybody's doing, which it wasn't really, but it wasn't really like ever publicly televised, I guess. SRL's been around forever. Speedrun racing has been around forever, but showing off the 1v1 races is a lot of fun. You get to see, racers, how consistent they are in terms of the tricks and strategies they do, which isn't something you really see in PB attempts, right? Even with like live time attack events where you have as many resets as you want. You can just kind of make a mistake and restart, but with speedrun racing, you got one shot, got one opportunity, you mess that opportunity up, and it can go really south really fast. But both these players keeping it up to the standard.
It's a completely different experience while racing compared to just doing attempts. You really have to be cautious about like every single strat that you do. What checkpoints you want to grab, what strats you want to do, things like that. For example, just now we see Speed having a little bit of a lead. Speed actually just went for the cliff moon. Strav went for the chest moon, but didn't get chest flip. So yeah, it's just little things like that that you have to be a little more cautious about during these races.
Yeah, being cautious is good. One thing that we can talk about though for sure is being too cautious can be actually a little bit bad, because once you start being like, oh, I don't want to go for that strat, it's too scary, and then you go for some safe strat that you don't really practice, you're not super confident with, the muscle memory's not there. I think you lose time trying to be safe, and that's not a good time. But
it's important to always practice your backups. Like if you don't want to do some like risky strat runs, always practice the safe strat as well, to be sure that you're comfortable with it. Because yeah, people can fall in the trap of going too safe or just doing something that they've never done, or it probably would have been better off just doing the usual strat.
yeah,
So
very
you do
true.
have to find like a balance.
So we got a little bit of a variation here for the first time in the race. We got Stravos going for reverse town here, Speed going for the standard routing. Not really a huge difference in terms of time or execution even. It's just more, what runners are used to. First town being slightly faster. Speed just not quite grabbing that strat yet, not putting it under his hat.
So yeah, not gonna really. I believe Strav is probably in the lead. He got pretty solid reverse town. Yeah, Strav definitely gained a little bit there on the reverse down. Gonna be about a second ahead grabbing the student move.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always really interesting in like speedrun races, when two runners are like neck and neck and then they come up to some sort of variation and then one comes out ahead. It's like you're literally watching like a comparison video like live.
It's really cool to see, just like in real time how like different routes diverge and then come back together.
Both players coming up to attempt bullet bill jam here. Looks like both of them going to be connecting, using that capture ability in order to save some time. Don't have to climb back up manually. You just grab the moon, capture the bullet bill, and pop out of the capture. Quite a nice little time save there. Pretty standard at this level, but we do see runners miss it from time to time.
There's also a little bit of a difference here in how like the players direct their bullet bills before they uncapture. Strav kind of went for a little bit more of a risky thing where he directed the bullet bill to the right so he could basically capture it immediately after the crate move. Speed went a little bit safer, directing the bullet bill straight ahead. But both runners seem to have success in their strats.
Yeah, Speed connecting his face to the chest there, not exactly the optimal strategy, but not too far behind, keeping up the pace with Stravos so far. And we're going to be coming up to some harder kingdoms here. Obviously, Sand, not an easy, gimme kingdom by any means, but Lake Clip can give runners some trouble, and Wooded Kingdom is, honestly, in the early game, I'd say Wooded Kingdom is probably one of the scarier spots.
Oh yeah, by far the hardest kingdom in at least like the first half of the game, in my opinion. Ooh, Speed really unlucky with the cactus capture. Took a hit and captured again.
Yeah, just really wants to feel what it's like to be a cactus, I suppose. I understand.
Cactus cosplay.
Sometimes you just gotta be what you want to be. As Stravos going to be closing out the kingdom here. Very, very solid at globe time here in Sand Kingdom. Globing around
Yeah,
at
pretty good
48.
move for Stroud. Nothing really major happening. Just pretty good movement overall. Speed falling a little far behind, probably about 10 seconds.
We're headed off to the Lake Kingdom, as I was talking about a little bit before. Lake Clip can be a bit scary. The rest of the kingdom is honestly like, I don't want to say it's a gimme, but like, what are you gonna mess up? The jump up to the Goomba wall there, I don't know. Like, not a lot going on, honestly, in Lake Kingdom. A lot of
Yeah,
swimming, grabbing some moons.
Lake Clip is basically the only variable in the kingdom, which I guess is nice because it's only like one thing that you have to worry about. Compared to the other kingdoms, there's like so many, like for example, in Lunch, you have to worry about so many tricks and movement, things like that. Here it's pretty simple, straightforward.
Yeah, simple for these runners. As soon as I said that, I was thinking about like, I did pick up the controllers and do a no reset the other day. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago now, and I'm pretty sure I failed this jump to the zipper. So, like, for your average player, your casual player, I mean, every kingdom is hard, but when you get to this level, Lake Kingdom is definitely the least of your worries. But here is the lake clip here, so let's see what Stravos manages to do. Not able to get the hat through the wall yet.
Trouble. Let's get it. Third try. Pretty solid. We will see if Speed can gain some time though.
Definitely an opportunity here, and needs to take every second that he can. Nice.
A little bit of a slower setup, but does get it first try, so that's going to gain some time over Stroud.
Yeah, very good stuff here. Anytime you can save time over Strav, I don't care who you are. If you're saving time over Strav, you're doing a good job. You're having a pretty good run.
Yeah, basically when it's a matchup like this where Speed is like, I guess not substantially worse, but definitely I guess less experienced, then you basically just want to have Stroud I guess mess up and then you mess up less. That's basically what you want to have to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Speed with a 10001. I'm just waiting for Speed to get that sub hour. I
No,
was
Speed has deserved it for so long, literally months. He's been grinding it.
My heart was like so convinced that he was gonna get that sub hour in the race like 3 weeks ago or something. Now I was like, I was ready for it. But it's coming, it's coming. Speed, like, unless he just dropped the controller today, I mean, he's gonna get it in the next. If he doesn't get it in the next month, I'm gonna be shocked. I feel like I'm gonna curse him by saying that, but I don't know. I got confidence in Speed.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how many people have been in Speed's position, like so close to sub hour. Obviously, I think like 3 people right now have a 1 flat, so
Oh my
does
gosh.
it, it is very devastating.
Mental block city. Minute barriers are hard. And speaking of hard, we are headed to that kingdom we were talking about being quite hard, the Wooded Kingdom. Nut clip being a pretty major factor, but there's so many parts of this kingdom that are very dangerous, especially anywhere where there's major pitfalls. We were talking about earlier, in this game, there's not a lot of areas where you can lose, like, a huge bucket load of time, not like 40 seconds to a minute. But if you die, like, going for FRS or right after FRS, especially if you don't get the checkpoint doing tree route, you are losing a ton of time. You get warped all the way back to the Odyssey. So hopefully we see both riders getting nut clip here and avoiding that disaster.
Yeah, there's so many places that you could just either fall into deep woods or die, even get stuck and out of bounds, and you basically just gotta start from the beginning.
Yeah, Speed there going into first person before talking to the shopkeep. A little bit of an optimization. You wouldn't really expect to do much of anything, but once a game gets played to death like SMO, people just kind of figure out everything. It's like, oh hey, you just zoom in here and you save whatever. I don't even know how much, probably like a couple frames, but gotta save those frames.
Yeah, and over the course of the run, obviously, in any person you don't really talk to that many NPCs, but in other runs, I think like Darker Side or Almonds, you're going to be talking to a lot of NPCs. So, you know, using first person for all of them will save you a good chunk of time.
Yep.
Anyway, Stravos does get clean out of bounds move. Let's see if he can climb this ramp. Gets the triple jump, and he's clear.
Yeah, both players grabbing nut clip speed. Having a little issues out of bounds, though. Taking a little bit of a
Oof,
bonk.
this camera angle. I do not like this camera angle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it worked.
I don't even do nut clip, and that was scaring me. Like, that was terrifying me. I had no idea what was going on. It was uncomfortable to view, but speed making it work.
Yeah, Speed's camera angles are kind of scary, but at least he doesn't get stuck or anything, so it does safely make it out. Although did lose quite a bit of time over Strav. So I'm going to be going for this fancy little slope movement. I love seeing that. So cool.
Yeah, slopes are just suggestions. If you're a speedrunner, you can just kind of defy gravity. It's no big deal. Comes with the
Like the
territory.
slopes in this game and 64. I feel like you can do a lot of things with the slopes in either games. Like
Yeah,
especially in 64. There's a lot that you can do.
Slopes in 64 are just busted. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much everything in SM64 is just busted. At least in this game, like, the walls are mostly solid, right? You can still clip out of bounds, but, like, it's not like everywhere you can clip out of bounds. Oh, okay, Stravos having a huge meltdown there, unable to get one jump there. Two jumps now. Okay, I was memeing, but now it's looking a little bit dicey. You can't lose too much time. I mean, obviously has the better movement over speed overall, but speed's no slouch. If you start making those mistakes, running into walls and stuff, speed's gonna catch up slowly but surely. Going for some vault movement there, it looked like. Is that a thing? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't know what he tried to do, honestly.
Speed deep in the lab, has the dark secrets.
Strav is going to be entering pipes. He's not going to be going for the faster cycle. Just going for the regular cycle. Well, he was really close to that fuzzy, but he does make it work.
Yeah, it always terrifies me when people do that room optimally. Like, you are literally just, like, going through what you think would be the hitboxes of the fuzzies, but hitboxes are never as they appear, unfortunately.
Speed going for the same cycle. Should be able to make it work. It might be a little tighter.
Oh, no. Taking a bop.
Yeah. I kind of knew it based on like where the water was. I knew it was going to be kind of tight, and didn't make it work.
Based on the pixels and having seen quite a few Super Mario Odysseys in your time.
I watch way too much Super Mario, so I know everything.
Twitch addiction is real. Tragic. Stravos.
I watch so much, I even already know the outcome of these races.
Oh my goodness. Do you actually?
Just by watching this point of the run, I already know the outcome of these races.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but Monka S. Going for the cloud hint art here. Stravos nabbing it. Should still make the hat here. Beautiful. Very tight there, as you can see, grabbing that hint art and making it all the way over to Bowser's hat. You don't have a lot of time, but gets to skip the hint art in Metro, and obviously doesn't lose any time there. So, a little time save.
Yeah, the thing with grabbing that hint art is like there's some pressure because you have to grab it first try. Because obviously, you know, if you take any longer, then you're not going to be able to get the hat in time. So it's like a little bit of pressure when you're going there. Speed not gonna go for it, just gonna do the regular phase.
That's definitely understandable. It saves what, like a second or something to get Cloud Hint Art, so
Yeah, it's about a second and a half.
going for that not super necessary Stravos with the Vault and Meme Tree here.
Whoa. And for the boostless vault, which is interesting. Doesn't really save that much time if you use that boost.
And nabbing the butterfly, my personal arch nemesis in this stage. I always end up going into the first person camera view.
Yeah, if you don't know how to approach that butterfly, then yeah, it can be kind of hard. But yeah, first person is a thing for these objects, which is nice.
Yeah, Mario doesn't exist if you're in first person. Oh my goodness, Speed taking a huge dive into the poison jam there. Unfortunate stuff.
Yeah, he overshot the tree, which doesn't it's not really a common thing.
Oh my god, it's
Oh
not
my
really
god,
a common thing,
wow.
Haji, man.
I swear it's not a common thing.
Let's see how it is.
Rare. It's rare.
We've got it out
Please,
for Speed.
Okay. See, it's not common.
It's okay, Zenru. We still love you. We like the commentary booth is on your side. That's all that matters.
Yeah, just as you said, Speed did miss this butterfly here. Luckily, just going to first person, wait a couple seconds, and it respawns. Yeah, that's going to be a huge time loss for Speed. This is not what you want, especially at this point of the race.
Did Speed have to do the? Did Speed have to do the butterfly backup? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he did.
Rip.
But yeah, like at this point in the race, like a third of the way through, it's not that good to be, this far behind.
Yeah, and making those small mistakes still is pretty unfortunate. Speed just trying to take me down memory lane. The first time I ever saw that backup was from Speed in the OG CCG SMO Any tournament, like 2.5, 3 years ago. So Speed's just going for the nostalgia percent.
Oh yeah, learning that backup for the first time is life changing.
I never watched this game like super back in the day. Oh, Speed. Oh, no. That is rough. Obviously dying there on the agenda, but yeah, if you have not grabbed the moon yet, not so much. Needs to be really careful to not grab Plepto here. Playing it really risky.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Cut it a little too close.
What's that trick jump called? That's gotta be a specific trick jump name, right? That was a little bit Monka-esque. What I was gonna say is, I kind of, I don't know, I don't regret, but like, I wish I was around more back when like SMO racing was first a thing. Like, I imagine like people were like struggling with stuff like awning jump and stuff in Metro, which, I don't know, it'd be pretty interesting to watch. I guess you could still kind of get the effect. You can just...
Like when Mooncave Skip was first discovered, people thought it was like frame perfect.
Yeah, Mooncave Skip, the big end game scary trick that everyone is gonna miss 5-10 times. People still die on that trick though, especially with one wall jump now. It's like
yeah, it's interesting to think, like when strats are discovered and then like people think like, oh, we're not gonna do this, there's no way this is viable, and then people just start, over the years people just start doing it. Kind of crazy how this game evolves so quickly as well. This game is not even 5 years old, and it's already as optimized as it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even like watching these races and you see how optimized it is already, like, and then you see just like Tyrone just like breaking world records like once a week, and it's like, how? Like, how is it still going down? 56, gonna happen. Speed taking a little bit of a slow climb there at the start of the pole. Probably just trying to get lined up right so we don't have any sort of debacle jumping from pole to pole. Stravos obviously closing out the 2 cycle there. Not going to be given any sort of, you know, big time loss to speed for free. Gonna make him work for it. Turning into Day Metro now.
Strav gonna be attempting scoot club here. See if he could get the drive by, and he does.
That was hot. Not gonna lie, that was really hot.
Drive by is probably one of the most like satisfying strats in my opinion. Just, you know, driving past the cage and grabbing it feels nice. It also feels terrible when you miss it.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've tried Scoot Clip a couple of times as like a meme, and I have no idea how people get that trick. Like even with the setup, like getting it just driving by it seems crazy. Speed locks down his own 2 cycle, but quite a bit behind at this point. He needs to hope for some sort of a big mess up from Stravos. It's not going to come from Day Metro. I mean, I suppose we can mess up Bullet Building, but like, I don't know.
The Day Metro doesn't really have a lot of big time losses. There are a few small time losses, probably like 10 seconds max.
Yeah, Miyamoto, if you're watching in Super Mario Odyssey 2, give us some more pitfall areas. Make us go over some crazy gaps.
Please do not.
Please. Speedrunners, probably not on my side, but I'm
deeper woods.
Deeper woods. Punk ass. Get the dinosaurs. Literally, Satan is in deeper woods. Literally, demons blocking your path. Monk ass. Alright, Stravos. Pretty much nailing Bullet Building there. Not really any major problems. Okay, speed, not grabbing drive-by here.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Does get a good backup though, which is nice. But yeah, it's really unsatisfying. Missed the moon on the first try.
Yeah, but like you said, grabbing that backup, not making it, you know, too huge of a time loss there. But any time loss at this point is just, you know, you're tacking on more and more, and Stravos is not tacking on much of anything. I mean, last time
Stravos cruising. I mean, pretty much no major mistakes this entire run. He's been playing very well.
Yeah, you can
tell that he's been practicing a lot.
Yeah, dude's definitely been grinding. And the last time that I can even think of Stravos like making a quote-unquote major mistake was in Wooded, when we talked about him walking into a wall for like a quarter of a second. So
oh yeah,
this dude is flying.
Speed missing the slots.
Oh no.
He does have this is his last chance. I was gonna say, okay, if he didn't get that, then he would not have another chance at slots.
Yeah, you can run out of coins, which is not optimal and not suggestible.
Anyway, Stravo on very solid run. This is like 29:01 or 29:02 Metro exit, which is very reasonable 58 pace. What's the best race time that we've seen, actually?
That was a fantastic question. I don't have the stat sheet open because I am not a cheater. I don't cheat during my commentaries. That's my excuse. Hold on. Please hold.
I'm on the stats sheet, but I can't find it. Oh wait, I'm literally blind. Okay, Tyrone 57:35. Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that was, I think, his last race last weekend.
Yeah, was.
Oh, I'm also blind. I was looking for a second too, and I couldn't find it either.
Yeah.
The top 3 times are all by Tyrone, but Stravos96 with the
Unsurprisingly.
fourth place of a 58:31. That's a pretty solid time. 4 racers with a 58 in this tournament. That's crazy.
But yeah, Speed did not have the best stamina throw, so he's gonna be losing even more time here. And he's not even done yet. So he has to go through this room. Luckily, this room, if you don't do the reverse people's room, then it's usually not that inconsistent.
Yeah, Stravos getting the moon clip here in snow, so very nice stuff there, saving a tiny bit of time. And just playing really optimally pretty much everywhere. But one thing you can definitely say about Speed's gameplay here is that, you know, there's not been really like a meltdown, right? There's not been like a, oh my god, I messed that up, now I'm messing this up, now I'm messing this up. Like, it's just been like here or there, little mistakes. But overall, keeping his cool and keeping his head in the game, which, you know, you're kind of praying for a big mistake out of Stravos, one of the top players in the league and in the world, but it's a much better position than, you know, just kind of throwing the game away, just, you know, messing around, maybe showing off some strats or something. Definitely playing to win here, which is what you like to see.
Yeah, these runners are definitely good at, you know, keeping their head in the game, just, you know, staying focused. It's definitely one of the most important parts of racing.
Nice Goomba vectors there from our gamer Stravos here on the left side, grabbing this moon here. No ICC, a little bit disappointing, but you know, we'll let Stravos get away with it this time, I suppose. Alright, so Speed heading over to Shiveria Town here as Stravos is pretty much wrapping up, ready to get out of here. Just needs to buy a moon and head over to the Odyssey to attempt Snowdram, which at this level, probably not the hugest, you know, pitfall possible, but we have seen pretty skilled runners have some mistakes on there, and that's some interesting movement there for the boxes.
I feel like every runner kind of does like a different movement for the boxes, but it's not just one thing. Anyway, Strava attempting Snowdram does get it. Always nice to see.
Yeah, Speed probably not super excited to see that Snowdram was a success, but definitely was not expecting anything different. Honestly, you can't really expect too much, you know, big mistakes out of Stravos. The real things we're looking out for are, you know, like, does Spiritless Luncheon go wrong? Are there any problems with Bunnies or Mecha Speed? Knocking the hat off of the Blowy Joey there, almost.
That was a really solid backup though. Can't lie, it was probably the best it could have went.
Yeah, definitely keeping it together, but that was scary. The poison jam there, I mean, anytime you just like bump into the Blowy Joeys, like, I don't know, in my head I'm hitting the poison jam every time. This room can be really annoying to back up. Although if you've grabbed that first moon already, there's some pretty cool backup movements you can do, like
Oh yeah, I love the strat that you do. If you already got the first moon, then you can basically just long jump straight from the beginning all the way to the end, using the Taifu's breath.
Is it with a long jump? I thought it was a triple jump. That's crazy though. Either way.
Yeah, you can just long jump using the breath.
Wow.
And just make it all the way there. It's really cool.
Okay, Speed doing some Goomer vectoring. Didn't look like too bad, honestly. Sometimes you see people jumping with the Goombas, and you're like, are you losing time? But Speed looking pretty good there. As Stravos taking the first bonks here
Ooh.
in quite some time. Showing a little bit of
Yeah,
humanity
this is
here.
like probably one of the biggest mistakes that Stravos made this entire round, which is really funny.
Yeah, it just speaks to the strength of this gamer here, but honestly, a little bit, I don't know. It's always funny when you have like a runner that's just like so good that you have to like overanalyze like a bonk or like, oh my gosh, you ran into something with the fish. This is the end of the world. But when you get to like a 58, like that's it. Like, you know, it's like, oh man, I took 2 bonks. Like my run is over. Like that's, it can get into your head sometimes.
And Strav is out of balance. You got the clip, gets the moon. I was just gonna be chilling under here for a little bit.
Yeah, as I was talking about before, there's nowhere in this game that you can really clip out of bounds, right? So, they did a really good job programming. Hats off to you, Nintendo.
I know, this game is just like a barricade. Be taking
Sure.
a little more time on Snowdram, but does get it.
Surely there's nowhere else in this kingdom that Stravos could clip out of bounds, right? That was just that one spot.
Sure.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to do something over here, but I doubt it's gonna do. Oh, wait, what?
Oh,
He's behind the wall.
Aaron,
Oh,
you lied.
I'm sorry. For all the clipping out of bounds, though, in Super Mario Odyssey, this game, the 80% category is like very, very, I don't know, I don't want to say pure, but for lack of a better term, I mean, there's no like, you know, warping around wrongly or any sort of weird like item manipulation, coin glitch or something. Like it's all very like vanilla gameplay, right?
The glitches in this game are, you know, crazy to see for the first time, but like they're not game breaking. Like you can still get very solid times without, you know, any major clips.
Yeah, I feel like if you were to never have seen a Super Mario Odyssey any percent run, and especially if you're like a speedrunner, like if you went over all the tricks in the run and you were like, yeah, these are all the tricks we have, it'd be like, that it? Like, can we find something else? Like, this is kind of like, it's in one way you could see it as being boring, but honestly, I feel like this is kind of like a golden age for Super Mario Odyssey any percent speedrunning, because like, someday this category is going to be completely busted, and a lot of times when an any percent category gets completely busted, you know, you can lose a lot of the charm of the game. But Speed there, having some trouble in the Gushin room.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that, you know, have like an any percent, like an any percent glitchless, and the any percent is like 2 minutes long, but like nobody runs it.
Link to the Past any percent, my favorite category, where you walk around off camera for about 1 minute and then you just are in the end of the game. Very epic.
There's a lot of them like that. There's also a Super Mario Land 2. I don't know if you've seen that game's 90%.
Which one?
Basically, just you go out of bounds or something, and you do some like memory manipulation. You just credits for. It's kind of how a lot of games work.
Yeah. Travis here actually opting to defeat the rabbit. I think this is pretty typical for Stravos, honestly, in races. I gotta take a look at the stat sheet.
This is just what Strav does. He's kind of like, you know, I guess, known for, you know, doing Spirit at this level, which is not really usual. Usually at the mid to low 58, people will be doing Spiritless, but Strav can still get these really good times. It's not really any, like, you know, insane strats like Spiritless. He just has really good movement, and that's kind of what sets him apart.
Yeah, awkward moment. I went to check the head-to-head tab, and it was set to Dansta versus Jambo. I don't think those are the players running right now. But, you know, it's an off day. We'll give Matsu the day off. I mean, I guess he can have 1 day off a week. XP. Usually I double check before the races, but can only have so many spreadsheets open. Yeah, shoutouts to Matsu for being the craziest stats keeper on the planet. Like, actually, stat sheet is probably the craziest thing about this entire competition. Like, there's so many pages on the stat sheet that, like, there's some pages that I've barely even, like, looked at, and, like, looking at them, I'd have to, like, figure it out, you know? Like, I don't know what some of these pages even do, but...
Yeah, it's so, like, I guess, evolved, I guess. And that's how you put it. I can't think of the word.
It's intricate, that's for sure.
There's just a lot. There's just a lot.
Workstream coming
But we
up.
do appreciate the effort.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to get more stats going. I want to get stats going for everything, but... SMO is already too much. Gotta get more stats keepers. Which reminds me, we haven't really plugged it yet today, but if you are looking to help out with any of the events coming up, or if maybe you have some sort of event that you'd like to host, maybe you know, you have a speed game that hasn't really had a tournament yet, or needs to have a tournament, you know, maybe drop me a DM, maybe sign up on the volunteer form, have a little chat. Always need help with stats and doing commentary and all that sort of thing. Speed here, going for Spew Full Luncheon again.
See how this cheese goes. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Pretty much just want to, you know, shoot the front cheese blocks as quickly as possible. Sometimes it doesn't go that well though. Sometimes there's always going to be like one cheese block just sticking out. And sometimes it's like the spiny in front of you just doesn't want to die, and then you end up taking damage to it. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. But yeah, I haven't really noticed any mistakes on Strav's side for this launch. Very solid. Very fast meat grab for the end.
Extremely good at grabbing the meat, that's for sure. That was really quick. Okay,
This is
what?
like very
Interference
Oh
from
my
one of the forks there. I can't remember what they're even called, but the fork people getting involved. Apparently paid off by Stravos, which is kind of dirty. I mean, he doesn't even need the time save, but still, you know, getting the interference from the people here.
As for pace, this is like a very easy 58 for Strav. That's like not even an exaggeration.
Pause. I'm honestly not too surprised. I mean, we've been saying it over and over again, but like, there's not been a lot of mistakes, which just kind of speaks to like how well Speed is playing, right? Like, Speed is playing pretty solidly here. It's not like he's making a ton of mistakes everywhere. But Stravos is just like going so unbelievably fast. It's like, how do you even keep up?
Strav is just so good at like the things that he knows. Like what he does in runs, he's just like so good at them, so consistent. Like he sticks to his comfort zone, but it definitely works.
Apparently the luncheon folks are called Volbonians, which is why I have no idea what they are, because I've been told that before and I forgot it, and I will once again forget it.
They're just folks.
What is this city called again? I don't even remember. Isn't it like...
It's Mount Volbono.
Okay.
Which is why
they're called Volbonians. Okay. I'm taking notes. I'm not taking notes. I'll forget. I'm sorry.
I think it'd be kind of funny if we like refer to the kingdom names as like the alternate names, and like what it is like Steam Gardens.
In an alternate universe, everyone's splits are just like Steam Gardens, Lake, whatever it is, Lamode. I think. What is it called?
I think the funniest one is Ruin Kingdom is called Crumbledon.
Yeah, Ruined Kingdom, honestly, they could have just done without that one, honestly. I don't know. I'm a big luncheon hater, but I feel like out of all the kingdoms, they probably could have just left out Ruined.
I don't really think like anybody would care if they got rid of Ruin, honestly.
That one person out there somewhere that Ruined Kingdom is just their favorite kingdom. Spend all day there. What even just happened on speed screen? Did you see that? He just like did like a pirouette or whatever it's called. That was impressive. Speed with the ultimate style there, that's for sure.
Just as Strav is finishing up this Rune Dragon, Speed is going to be finishing up Luncheon Kingdom, so these runners are basically a Rune Kingdom apart.
Yeah, if there's any kingdom you want to be behind by, it's a Ruined Kingdom, that's for sure. That kingdom is not very long. Only gotta defeat a dragon and get out. But it is still a pretty sizable lead. You know, you'd have to theory craft some pretty dastardly things to happen to Stravos here to see a speed victory. But we'll see what happens as we roll into the end game here. We got Bowser's, we got Moon, some scary times. Good time to remind everybody in the chat room to follow the racers. Follow me and G-Man, of course, and always shout outs to Urban Arts, our fantastic sponsor, putting up $1,000 for this entire league, making it all happen.
We love Urban Arts.
Definitely. Big Urban Arts fan. Yeah, there are definitely some shorter kingdoms out there than Ruin, but I'd be very concerned if you get out of Cascade Kingdom and you are somehow an entire cascade behind your opponent. That'd be a bit concerning. DSS Meltdown. Perhaps. Mech Kingdom, yes. That's my favorite kingdom. Oh, dive back fail from Stravos there. Had a little bit of trouble, but
Stravos.
Okay, I wasn't gonna bring light to that, but appreciate the call out. Stravos 9-6. My southern accent's coming out. I am originally from Seattle, so I got a pretty thick southern accent.
What does Seattle have to do with the South?
What do you mean?
That's not near the South.
That's the point. Okay, anyways.
Think about it.
That's the joke. Alright, Bowser Jam from Stravos. Pretty interesting lineup there. From my perspective, but maybe that's standard, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Strav is known to do like that weird Bowser Jam strat. That's basically like one of his signature strats.
I thought Strav was just the Cloud Kingdom guy. That's what I heard.
He used to be a while ago. I remember when he got the first 127. But now I think comps was like 126 or something.
Strav was nailing the Sarbomba there. Locking that bomb in the air, saving some time. Not exactly a new strat at this point, but still impressive to see nonetheless. Very quick
Yeah,
fight.
that strat is actually, I believe it's like already a year old at this point. And like, it's kind of crazy because I remember when that strat like first came out. Well, not came out, but like was discovered. And there were like all the variations of the strat, like at the beginning, I think people originally actually did 2-star bombas, but then there were like a million different variations, and then we sort of came to the one that we do now, which is just one at the beginning.
Always interesting to see the evolution of tricks as they come into fruition. Never really, I don't know, there's some tricks that are like, you know, it's, you do it one way and that's the only way you can do it, but it's always interesting to see as things develop. But Speed and Stravos synced up here for a cutscene, but unfortunately not the same one.
Story moves.
We are still blasting through Bowser's here, headed up to the mech on Stravos' side, headed up to the bunnies on Speed's. This is where the comeback theory crafters are thinking, you know, okay, the mech's coming up. Not so typical anymore, but will we see a mech meltdown? I remember there's like a week or two where people were talking about, I mentioned it one time on commentary, and everybody's like, yeah, nobody messes up mech anymore. And I remember one time somebody said that, and then like literally the same game, like somebody just like fell off a mech and was like having like a meltdown. So, you know, it's not as common anymore, but it does still happen. You know, mech, once it starts moving and running around, is a bit of a tricky beast to tame. It's kind of ridiculous how much time you have to get up there, though, even without the bird, like, to start out. Like, you literally could just, like, mess it up over and over and still get up. Crazy.
I feel like mech is probably, I think it's by far the coolest boss fight in the speedrun. Just like how much you can break it just by climbing up. Because normally this is supposed to be a very long boss. Like casually you're supposed to wait for the bird, and then you know wait for the mech to kneel down so you can climb up and then reach all of them. And you have to like avoid all the like circles of fire, I guess.
Oh, Speed, no, Speed.
Oh my god, save.
Yeah, luckily.
But yeah, anyway, you can just break it so fast just by climbing up and then getting back on.
Yeah, Speed having just an absolute disastrous time with Bowser Jam. Luckily, you know, when you're going for Bowser Jam, you have your cap right next to a wire. So if you dive straight off the edge, you can just, you know, homing cap onto the wire, you're safe. But still, not having the best time there as Stravos wrapping up mech. And yeah, as you were saying, like, I mean, it's honestly really nice that the mech fight doesn't just completely break for some reason when you do it in the way that, you know, speedrunners make it happen, because you know, the game's not expecting you to beat it like that, and sometimes when you do things out of order in video games, they don't really quite like that. But Mech Brutal down to take the abuse, I suppose, as Speed is wrapping up. Wrapping up Harriet.
Like I mentioned, yeah, Strap's still, like, this is like 58 React space actually. That's how good of a run he is on, considering his PB is 58.22, and this is without the SS. So I mean, if this had the SS, then this would be even closer to PB. That just shows how consistent Strava is. Honestly, Dan, that's what I was thinking, like while Saren was talking about, but like I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of things that are just, I guess, overlooked.
And so if you're saying that Mecha Brutal was intended to be climbed up without a bird, I don't agree. I don't think that's something that they intended.
I don't know. For this game, it's really hard to gauge because there's not like I mentioned earlier, there's not really any game-breaking glitches, so it's kind of hard to tell whether things were actually like, intended. Big debated one is Moon Cave skip. I'm personally on the side that I think that one is not intended, but a lot of people think it is.
I don't know. I think there's no way that they intend. I mean, you can't even like wall jump on the wall usually. It's like just in a couple of specific spots. Always gonna side on the ingenuity of speedrunners. We're breaking the game. Nothing is ever intended. Stravos going for that wall. One wall mooncave skip. Very nice stuff. And so I think you overestimate the abilities of the average game testers out there. Like most of the time, like game testers are like trying to find like, you know, situations where it's like, oh, I can just walk out of this wall here, like casually walking. Like typically they're not like, you know, oh, maybe if I backflip at this specific angle and grab a moon. Which, you know,
there are some games that are like specifically made, you know, for speedrunners. The one that comes to mind for me is Celeste. That one is, you know, like a perfect example of a game that's like that for speedrunning.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it has, you know, like a timer and everything.
Yeah, I think there's situations, you know, where there's like that, they prepare in that way, you know, like with timers and built-in, you know, leaderboards and stuff, you know, where they save times. But as far as like built-in like game-breaking glitches or like exploits, I feel like typically that's not super on top of their mind. I think there's been a couple instances where like a game has come out and like the developers are like very aware of like glitches that are used for speedruns, and them just being like not patched. But other than that, I don't know. But either way, Stravos here battling Bowser for the last time. Actually, only fight Bowser twice in this game, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's not that crazy, but
you do obviously, you know, you're meant to, you know, like fight a boss and everything though. But you know, we just get most of them.
I don't know why that's weird to me. I guess I just played too much Mario 64. I mean, you don't even fight Bowser till the end of SMS and Galaxy.
I guess you can count like the brutal fights. Those are like kind of related to Bowser.
Nah, it doesn't count. Even like Mario World, you only fight Bowser once. I'm way too indoctrinated into Mario 64.
There's like the Koopa levels, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a good change, Dansta. Yeah, modern day speedrunning is interesting because you have like developers that can actually change stuff, but we are here in the cat jam section, #1 section in all of video gaming. Get your jams in the chat. It is required. It is not a suggestion. I almost failed. I almost typed in cool cat instead of cat jam. I don't know what I'm thinking. Almost got banned.
Might have been banned from the stream.
Kind of weird, champ. Speed taking a bonk into the wall here, but doesn't really matter at this point. There is no stopping Stravos.
And it's going to be a 58 3x. Probably like a 35, which is very impressive. Especially not even just for a race, but just a no reset in general. Getting a mid 58 is no easy feat. So yes. GG to Stravos.
Stravos has been
racking up a lot of points for this race.
Yeah, and playing really solidly. Not only in this race, but also in the last couple races as well. I think it's been a while since we've actually broadcasted the Stravos race because the last couple times we had some issues with the opponent's VODs or something similar. So those races didn't actually get aired, but he's been tearing up a storm. Actually going a little bit crazy.
Yeah, being 12 seconds off BB, especially considering he didn't do the SS or a few other small mistakes. It's not easy.
I'm pretty sure he PB'd in one of his last races. I don't even remember.
I think he did. He might have.
People are PBing too much in races, guys. Come on. What's going on here? Too much hype. Nobody's gonna even get excited for the PBs anymore. We gotta make them a little bit less constant for the content. Let's see. Oh, please keep PBing. 58:31 in a race was a PB. Speed here, wrapping up his own Bowser battle. Gonna be rolling into the escape sequence shortly. Stravos, will he get this jump onto the Odyssey off the Bowser? Who could have guessed it? That was sick.
Oh my god.
Stravos is a god. How did he do that?
Jump out.
Bouncy Bowser Odyssey leap. Success. Very cool.
I love that trick jump. And speaking of Bowser, speed captured Bowser after the escape sequence. Probably looking at a high 102 pace. Not his best performance, but yeah.
Definitely showed up to play today, though. I mean, this isn't his best race performance by far. I mean, his best race performance is literally his PB. But I mean, like at this point, like how many people have PB'd in races in the league? I think only Speed and Stravos, right? Or Stravos, excuse me. I don't know why I keep getting the accent on there. I can't think of anybody else who's PB'd.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh my goodness. Getting a little bit scary there with the 2D section, but does make it on through. And headed onto the Cat Jam section. And chat, you don't get off for this one either. The audio is on. Speed needs your support. The Cat Jams need to come out. They're very, very important. Jason, you're too early. Those Cat Jams don't count. You gotta get some more in there. Those ones don't count. You gotta
early Cat Jam.
Yeah, until the first guitar riff starts playing, you cannot Cat Jam. That's illegal. Alright, a few missed fireballs here for Speed, but we are on track here to still grab that 102. Okay, I'm getting scared now. It should be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of close. Should be able to grab it. Just needs to hit this last pillar.
Very beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 1-2.
Camera being a bit tricky, but Speed knowing how to handle it. Going to be breaking that cube down. Grabbing a high 102 as G-Man predicted from, like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, because G-Man is a god at mental game. Very, very good stuff here.
And GG's to both runners. 3 solo performances.
Yeah, not the closest race we've had in the tournament, but definitely a solid one. I saw Stravos in the chat. If you want to hop in for an interview, you can feel free to do so. But otherwise, you guys better stay tuned, because this is not the end of the Super Mario Odyssey action today. We have one more match coming up. We got Lightron versus Triple X, which should be a heater. Lightron and Triple X are... I don't know, I don't want to call them hot and cold, but like when it's a good time, a good race for either racer, like they're popping off, they're getting sub hours. And you know, both of them have had their ons and their offs in their tournament races. So we'll see who's able to perform today.
Once again, be sure to follow all the runners, commentators. That is the wrong command, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. Follow Strav, follow Speed, follow Saren, follow Cool Cat Gang, all that.
Yeah, very good stuff. Stravos still remaining undefeated, which is something worth mentioning. Stravos and Tyrone are both undefeated. And when are they going to play? I'm going to take a look at the schedule here. You win. Oh, they're literally...
The Tyrone Strav match, that's going to be nuts.
Yeah, they're not playing next weekend, this upcoming weekend, but the one after. So in about a week and a half, we're going to be seeing Stravos versus Tyrone, which is going to be nuts. Like, both undefeated, both sick racers. Definitely going to have to hype that one up quite a bit. How's Speed doing in the standings? Let's take a look at that as well. Speed. Where is Speed? Speed sitting down with 81 points. Not looking super comfortable to qualify, but it's definitely still possible. Psionic with a pretty sizable lead. But we will see what happens for our friend Speed in the future. Even just making it into this tournament, I think, was a pretty solid. Anybody with like an over 1 hour time making it into the league is sick, right? Because we had so many people showing up to play. So props to Speed for even making it here. But looking forward to seeing him for the next several weeks at the very least. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. Don't go anywhere because in about, I don't know, I think we're scheduled for 22 minutes from now. But as long as the comms are down, we're going to get started here. About 10, 15 minutes. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll do our best. But yeah, stick around. Don't go anywhere. And we'll be back with more SMO Any% League action.